new dev diary dropped for Austria for the new HOI4 mod, Götterdämmerung. I figured, let's check it out, you know? Here's a beautiful, massive little focus tree. I don't know if it's, well, really small. In fact, I'd say it's quite on the big side for a minor nation like Austria, with plenty of different paths. I believe this is the historical path. And here, way to the left, is the communist path. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, over in here. Middle path is the democratic one, I'm guessing. We're proactively joining the allies. Here you can join the allies or form your own alpine faction. And a sizable military focus tree. But my guess is that's because they'll probably have a lot of debuffs to get rid of, so they'll need to do a lot of focuses to become a normal nation. And as you can see in here, they have economic depression, widespread unemployment, and the most important one, the Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye, which essentially means no factories, no conscription, and you're not allowed to train, modify, or delete troops. That'll be up apparently until 1940, but if you know your history, that means you're already annexed by Germany. And I'm guessing a bunch of your focuses will be around weakening this spirit until it's disappeared, and then building up yourself strong enough so you can actually defend against Germany, or even like stop them from annexing you or wanting to annex you by being too strong. It seems to be the historical path. Totalitarian safety, I'm guessing getting rid of some extremism. Supporting Italy and Ethiopia. Okay. Yeah, Ethiopia was one of the guarantors of the Austrian Republic. And so by supporting them, I'm guessing you're going to improve relations with Italy so that they'll support your independence in case Germany would like to tickle you a little bit and annex you. Historically, I believe Italy wasn't particularly happy with the annexation of Austria, to put it lightly, but they did leave it be or put it on the back burner as they felt like Germany is a better ally than they would be an enemy. But I'm guessing in this focus, by improving relations, it's probably a bunch of decisions with France, Italy, etc., you'll hopefully get actually dependable allies. Of course, there's plenty of reclamation stuff. Your Balkan territory, Czechoslovakia, it's basically a Hungarian focus tree, but then on Austrian side. And I do have to say, they're not that great looking, the focuses. They look extremely generic. I've seen this icon like a billion times. These icons, see, it's the exact same one, doesn't matter what you do. It's the same looking one. I've seen this one a billion times. This one, it seems like some kind of variation. Same as these ones. They're all very generic looking. And I kind of feel like this is a lost opportunity for Paradox, where they could differentiate themselves from being like, oh, the game is not just fun because of all the mods. We can also make some good focus trees that are unique looking despite each and every path that you take, with unique looking icons, decisions, lore, etc. But in here, I'm not really seeing a lot of cool looking focuses. This one's kind of cool. The disregarded treaties, sure. Generic central all over here. Up until the very, very end, where you get the better German state and the beyond our old lands. These are cool looking focuses. This is something I would definitely put into the thumbnail if I were to make a video on the focus tree of Austria. These ones up here, not so much. These are all uninspired, uninteresting looking, very generic, like I said, which is a shame. One of my favorite things of like the big HOI4 mods like Kaiser Redux, TNO, even Red Flood and others, is how unique looking everything is. It gives a bit of life, a bit of sass to your playthrough, even though essentially you're just looking at a map and sometimes clicking a button. Anyway, until there, my rant for that. So Austria stands as not aligned, quote unquote, but they're apparently ruled by various minor fascist factions. And there'll be an event that will, in essence, turn them absolutely fascist in due time. You can go against it, but then you'll also have to look at the relationship with Germany. Are they going to be a big fan of that or nah? As it says over here, the Germans might kindly insist that you let him in your cabinet because he has fascist sympathies and they may use him. And you could refuse them, but then they'll be more likely to be aggressive against you. So you'll have kind of to balance Germany and your own life. One of the ways you can do that is by reaching out to both Italy and your democratic guarantors, which is Germany, not Germany, definitely not Germany, France, Britain, etc. ask them for support. And with that, there will be two ways you go about it. Seek agreements for rearmament, which will be following the model of the agreement that the allies have put on you. So you're basically have to follow their lead, maybe bribe them a little bit, etc. But you're pretty much going to be playing to the tune of the allies. Or you can go all on your own, disregard the treaty. You no longer have to deal with the Treaty of Saint-Germain. You can actually get an industry going. You can actually build up units, but you're going to be completely on your own. Italy will not support you. France will not support you. The UK, the US, no one will support you. And that sounds like the more interesting path, even if it might be the more difficult. And regardless of which way you choose, whether you go all by yourself or with support of others, this is HOI4. Conquest is still a part of it. And I'm seeing a lot of it. Reclaim Balkan territories, Czechoslovakian, Galicia. You restored the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Or more like the Austrian, I guess. With hopefully at least cores following all of that. And in here, I can see the better German state. This looks like a very cool focus. In essence, I'm guessing you're going to be, instead of just becoming the Austro-Hungarian Empire, you're just going to become the Greater German Empire. The Großdeutsche Lösung is what you're going to be forming. Historically, when the North German Federation formed and they wanted to form Germany, there were two options. One was the Lesser German solution, and one was the Greater German solution. The greater one would involve also all of the Austrian lands. So a sort of super Germany. And this is very cool. I like this a lot. But at the same time, I kind of feel like, isn't that basically you're just going to be Germany, but with the capital being Vienna instead of Berlin? And it could definitely be interesting. And a more difficult path, I guess, than regular Germany. Next up is the Anschluss system. With the German remilitarization of the Rhineland and the increasing amount of covert aggression emanating from the Reich, we must prepare for the worst, yet hope for the best to avoid being caught unprepared. You need to build up garrisons, constructions, etc. to make it not really worth it to be annexed by the Germans. They might still put their foot down and be like, you get in my belly or you die and then get in my belly. But there is a bit of a balancing game from what I can tell then, where you can build up while also slightly appeasing the Germans until you're in a better position where you can actually face them head on. I also find it an interesting choice that they have the risk being something vague as low, medium, or high instead of an actual number on it, or a threshold that you need to reach or not reach to be or not be annexed. If that makes sense? But that might be more interesting. It's less set in stone. There might be a bit of a higher or lower chance depending on where you are in the Anti-Anschluss measures. And so it won't all just be based on what you click. Sometimes you'll just have to be lucky a little bit as well, which is true in life. So that makes sense, I guess. Here it is, the man of the hour, the monarchist path. No one tell Alex the Rambler he's going to come in his pants, and we don't want to clean that up. The monarchist path seems to be leaning up against the historical one, which is over in here to the right. So I'm guessing a lot of these focuses that are in here, like demand Hungarian submission, might be a thing that can be played from either side. You will also have like your own specific monarchist specific focuses that you have to take, but these ones look fairly generic, like, oh, here are your research slots, political bullshit, etc. And then this is most likely will be your preferred conquest focuses. And this is something I find very interesting. So default, you go for the monarchist path, you'll get Otto von Habsburg, which is, the Prince of Austria. But should Hungary also decide to go for the monarchist path and they will take him as their ruler, you will get the second choice, which is Ernst Rüdiger Starhernberg, which apparently we should Google because he had an interesting life. Maybe next time. Both can go from prince to king. I'm hoping that when they become kings, they get cool little costumes the way that Kaiser Redux also does. I love it when your characters get cool little outfits when they do well. Makes me feel like I'm playing Barbie, but then map game. I also find it interesting once you do go down your monarchist path, the historical path moves, gets deleted because you no longer need it. So they clean up the focus tree, which is always nice. But these two tiles, these two focuses and these two focuses were also part of the historical focus tree. And while I like these ones, especially the better German state, I think the focus looks cool, especially like combined with Beyond Our Old Lands and proclaim the Austrian Empire one, it really feels like it doesn't matter what you do, eventually you'll just get on to the same path. There's no new cool gamey or memey stuff that you can do that's like maybe outlandish, but also something different. You're kind of railroaded. Oh, you're Austria-Hungary, you're gonna be the Austro-Hungarian Empire, or just Germany, or etc. You're kind of stuck where you are currently. Exactly, not Maran. We wanted map painting. So of course you can map paint. That's very good news for us. You get a specific type of autonomy of your puppets by puppeting them through the system for this reason. No. So we can subjugate. How does this work? Austria demands our subjugation. If they accept, they will become a vassal. They are more likely to accept if we have either an active non-aggression pact with them or staged a rally against Poland. Chances can be further boosted by doing military exercise on the Polish borders, arming guards on the Polish borders, industrial bribery. Okay, so there's a bunch of decisions that you can do to make it more likely. Oh yeah, I don't know if it was actually visible. Let me show you like this. Now you can actually read it with me. There's a bunch of decisions you can make to make it more likely that Poland will accept. But the thing is, will Poland completely accept? Historically, Austria only really owns the Krakow region and the Galicia region, right? Will they get all of it, is my question. Will the entirety of Poland will be puppeted, including Danzig and Eastern Poland and stuff like that? Stuff that Austria typically has absolutely no claim to. Will they also puppet that? It doesn't really say here, but it could be an interesting little thought experiment. Though with this, I do have a bit of a fear that this is going to take way too fucking long to finish. Kind of like the Turkey tree, or in the focus tree of Hungary, where going through the normal path of puppeting everyone and then slowly but surely lowering autonomy until they're finally integrated is too damn long and boring. So I'm very interested to see how this will actually turn out. This is fun though. We can also reclaim Habsburg and instantly annex all of Switzerland. I'm guessing no cores, but at least you get to annex them. You can join factions, create your own before you take on the Germans, Soviets, or both. You know, regular stuff. Okay, next up will be the democratic one, not the historical one. The focuses for the most part in the democratic path are a lot more cool looking. More custom art, although a lot of them are still very generic, like the right to return, or rearm rather, outlaw the radicals. But there's a lot more interesting ones, like the lawmaking leniency. I don't think I've seen a focus tree that looks like that yet. And again, I want to reiterate, they really need to make more unique looking focuses. Like visually unique looking. These are better than some of the previous paths that I've saw, but still not quite unique and lifelike. If I didn't know what the Austrian flag was, this could be any goddamn nation. I have nothing really tying this focus to the feeling of Austria, if that makes sense. This is just generic feeling. I also find it interesting you get multiple options for your elections. Some of them are even fascist, as like this guy, right-wing Democrat. He's got plenty of fascist support bumping up. Maybe there's a case to be made that you can go Democratic and then switch into fascism right after or something like that. But looking through their character, I don't really see much point in either one of them. They all don't really give that great of a bonuses. I'd say if any one of them gives a decent bonus, it'd probably be Kurt Schuschnigg, mostly because of the surrender limit. If you have to rely on the surrender limit, you're already in a horrible place anyway. So this could be interesting if you want to do a bit of a death war with Germany. Build around your capital, let them grind up against you until the end of time, see what happens, right? And through the democratic path, you'll obviously have to pretty much beg the allies to be allowed to make guns and to be allowed to train up units. This is more likely if they have a high opinion of them. So for once in your life, or like for the third time in your life maybe, you can finally improve relations with nations and it would actually have an impact on what you do. That's a cute little addition. I wish they did more with that. Democratic branches can feel a bit samey, and I want to avoid this, or at least spice it up. That is interesting. I like this a lot. Because they are boring as hell to play. It's just a waiting simulator. The opportunity presents itself via Habsburgs, of course. So we're back to the same shit as with the other paths. Though instead of the Austrian Empire, I guess you would form the Danubian Federation. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how I feel about these borders. What am I looking at? I think that's Croatia, Austria. It looks disgusting. Looks like some kind of space bug. I believe they call that moon cockroaches. But in essence, it pretty much becomes the same thing as formed the Austrian Empire. Next up will be the communist branch. Apparently, Austria still had some communist movements, although I'm pretty sure they got beaten up hard by 1936. You'll have the option to revive it, the movement. And looking through the focus tree quickly, I'm sensing a pattern once again, similarly to the historical one, where your build up, which is in this part, you decide, do I want Big Daddy support, which is either the Soviet Union or in the historical one, the Allies, or do I want to go all by myself? And then by the end of it, you can decide, am I going to join Big Daddy in the form of the Comintern, or am I going to establish my own faction, which is weaker, but it's your own at least. And then some minor conquering stuff, or you can form the correct path of communism, whatever the hell that is. A very interesting thing to me is the fact that you can intervene in Spain and even invite the exiles, which I'm guessing is going to be military leaders, some random bonuses here and there, but nothing really to write home about. And if you do form a red Austria, you will have to go through a civil war. And I like that this civil war is the difficulty of it is based on how much support you have, whether or not you have done certain focuses, or even if you want to avoid the civil war completely, you can just have communist support over 60%, and then you just switch over to communism instantly. And then here is the military tree. Now that I have it in front of me, oh no, this is the industrial tree actually. It's sizable-ish, I guess. I guess as this part gets rid of some debuffs, here you get some factories, some resources, nothing too special really. Regular focus tree, some semi-unique focus trees, at least visual-wise, like this 25 shilling one. I like that. The Volksschule looks pretty cool. Other than that, this one I've seen a billion times. This one I've seen a billion times. Same, you know. They're the same one, these two actually, so. Generic focuses, as per usual. The military one apparently is supposed to be a lot bigger, though. This is just the aerial one. You, once again, follow the same pattern. You either purchase foreign stuff, or you make domestic production, which is usually what I tend to go for. And there's probably going to be some bonuses based on what you take for your airplanes. Maybe you'll have some extra firepower, maybe you'll have some more agility, what have you not. Doesn't really matter. Not the largest air branch, as they said so themselves, but it's there, if in case you need it. The rearmament one is pretty massive for a minor nation like Austria, and it's mostly because they start with a lot of debuffs that you'll have to get rid of. You'll have to build yourself up in order to be able to face the Germans, in order to be able to face the Italians, anything you might want to come across. Yeah, as I say, it's mainly to get rid of the Treaty of Saint-Germain-en-Laye and give a little boost to catch up once you're done with it. I do have to tell you, the naval focus I kind of prefer more. I like the way that the ELIN one looks, the Revive STT, but again, you're Austria, what the fuck are you supposed to do with a navy? This is only when you conquer enough stuff. Other than that, nothing too new or revolutionary. And that's pretty much it. And look at that. Cute little custom models, I'm guessing, for the Austrian units. Same with the airplanes. I don't think I've ever seen these ones before. They look pretty cool. Always down with some custom... I always like it when they add unique looking sprites, focuses, countries, flags, etc. Gives you a bit of extra life when you play a campaign. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this one. Let me know what you think. I'm very curious about this. And which path you'd want me to play in the future when it does come out. Hopefully till next time. Bye-bye.